All right. Ideally, if we were in the classroom, I would pull up these slides and ask you the questions and get you to think about the different things. We're obviously not, so I'm going to make this pretty quick. I just want to give you an idea of what is on the exam. These are not the test questions that are on the exam, but they are similar. So you'll have three questions that are true false on subject verb agreement. Um, this one is a little weird because it's not even really about subject verb agreement, not really, because when you have past tense, was showed, Jeff, Lisa, and John showed up, so, and stayed all night, that's fine. Those are fine. Shells in the sand stands out in the morning light. The deal with this is that we have a prepositional phrase right here, so we want to look at the subject. Shells stands. That doesn't work, does it? Because the easiest way to remember subject verb agreement is that one will have an S and the other one won't, typically. And then finally, we have several prepositional phrases, and the verb is. So we have the book. So book is our subject. On the fourth floor of the library at the college is. Book is. And so that one would be okay as well. No, make sure you review subject verb agreement. Then we have fragments. Again, these are true, false, and you'll be asked, or say the following collection has a fragment in it. And so let's just remember what fragments are. They cannot stand alone. They're not independent clauses. They depend on other sentences to make sense. So if you read this, I placed the cart in the recycle bin, that's an independent clause. The last one, however, the kitchen still smelled like old milk, is an independent clause. But to keep my kitchen from smelling, if you just said that by itself, it makes no sense. So that would be a fragment. Similarly, you have looking at the glowing sunlight. If you just said that by itself, you realize that you're missing information. And then if you have a nice long sentence here that's properly structured and it has a subject verb that can stand alone, then you know it doesn't have a fragment in it. I ask you to true or false on run-on. So this first one is one of the maybe the only trick questions in this test. The supervisor, it's not really a trick question. The supervisor at the store scouted his employee for making the mistake. I gave him a dirty look. If you don't know what comma splice before you get out of this class, I don't know what to even say, because I apparently like to really focus on them. Comma splices are run-on sentences. They are a specific form of run-on sentence. This one has good structure. We have a 57B introductory clause. We have a 57A comma before a coordinating conjunction. We have recliner was, couch was. It's fine. And then Beth reached over and grabbed the chemical from the top shelf. Then she remembered that she needed a safety data sheet on that chemical. There's nothing wrong with that sentence either. Then you're going to have a series of questions where you are given a sentence, and then you have four options of types of errors to choose from. Again, we have comma splice, right? We have 57B introductory clause. Comma needed for introductory clause. I can't remember what it says on the test. We have the use of affect and affect. So affect is the action, it's the verb. This one should be spelled with an E. So it's a spelling error. Then we have a subject verb issue, booth open. We know that doesn't work like that, so booth opens. Or the booths open. Either way would be the way to correct it. It's a subject verb problem. And then we have 57C list. We need commas in a list. Here we have a 57E. We don't need this comma because we just have the one subject. Car sped away and drove south. We have a compound verb is what we have, so we don't need that comma there. Here we're going to focus on the spelling of our theirs. So this is the wrong spelling, so know how to spell there in all its forms. Again, another spelling error. We spell a lot. That's two words. And when you have one in your test that's a long one like this, and it makes you really slow down and read it. But if you look, book banning has been a topic of debate for many years. Supporters argue, look, we have a new subject and a new verb, and look what we've done. Comma splice. That's a 62. So again, go study it if you're not really, you don't remember what a comma splice is. 57A right here, so it's right. The rest of it's grammatically correct. And then, of course, we have the capitalization issue that we have hounded on a little bit. Any proper noun, name, brands, that sort of thing are capitalized. This one, this section of the test, you'll have 4 sentences, and one of them is either punctuated or wrong or has a grammar problem. So this first one is a little bit tricky because we talk this way. But what we have here is a subject-verb agreement problem because our subject, anytime we have here or there, that starts a sentence, here is, there is, that's not the subject of the sentence. That's a passive voice sentence, and the subject is on the other side of the verb. So if we have the cup of coffee and the chocolate chip muffin, those are 2 things. That's a plural subject. So the verb here should be are. I'm so sorry. I sound so awful. We have another fragment here. If you just said, scratching my head for what seemed like hours, if you just said that and it didn't have anything before it or after it, it doesn't make any sense. So that's a fragment. Here we have the name brands that need to be capitalized. And her handshaking comma. So we would have an introductory clause 57B. Here we have 57A. Bob checked all the locks, comma, but the things got in anyway. Same thing. Here we have a spelling issue. It's a common spelling issue. A lot of people misspell lose. It's just L-O-S-E, and this is loose. Here we have the spelling of our twos. So one question wants you to make sure you know how to spell your theirs, and now we want to spell the twos correctly. So T-O-O, mom was too invested, and then just T-O to change the channel. And remember, a mnemonic T-O-O is extra or also. That's one way you can remember it. It's an adverb. Again, we have teams needing to be capitalized. That's it. So I hope that helps as you prepare for the proofreading exam. Thanks.